Hello and welcome back to Hof Bergmann. So I've been busy. I've been really busy. In between the last two episodes, basically. I've done a bit of mowing. I said I would do some. I have done a little bit. Let me just show you. Actually, I did this bit, but the grass is growing back because I have been that busy. But a lot of the actual shrubbery and bushes have gone. So I have done a little bit. I only did probably like up to this bit and then down there. But it's not as obviously overgrown as like this. Because I did take the shrubbery bits out, but yeah, still grass has popped up, so it doesn't actually look that good. But it did look good, trust me, it did. So this is what I bought to do it. Yeah, but every time I've got a little bit of spare time, I've been going around and just cleaning up the little bits. So yeah, not too bad. But definitely more work needed to be done on that one. I've also got a bobcat, just to make our life a little bit easier. I've got one of the second-hand bobcat, obviously for mucking out. But it does, yeah, it's just a lot easier to get the manure and then tip it up here than using the wheelbarrow, especially for the cows over here, because they do generate quite a bit more manure than what the other areas do. So that's pretty much that. So another thing I've been doing is a bit of field work. Now, I will be honest, I have been using Courseplay for the majority of it. But what I have done is I've obviously cultivated off these three fields. I did all the baling in field 3 and field 1. I've done all the baling. I didn't pick it up loose in the end. What I've done is picked it up as bales, and I have gone and sold some over at the animal dealership. But then I'm also going to sell these because we just got loads, and it just made more sense to bale it up and sell it. So I have got a trailer up there right now with it. I need to go and pick these up as well, and the ones that are on there. And we're going to go sell them just to get a bit of money back. Because basically I haven't got much money as it is. I'm at 6,000 because I've obviously bought a few little bits and bobs. Not much, just the main things that I needed. So all the animals are pretty much sorted out, but we do have to do some little bits. And as you can see, got some chicks in here that we're going to have to sort out. They're obviously not going to be ready, but we're going to get to them eventually, soon. I've also got some suckling pigs, and I've also got some, a calf from last time I looked, so we need to sort that out as well. So we're definitely going to go and do that. There is a few things I want to try and get in this episode, so I'm hoping that I can fit it all in. Right, so because I have got quite a bit to get done, what we're going to do is we're just going to get straight to it, crack on. I do want to fit quite a bit in this episode. Right, so the first thing I want to do is I'm actually just going to drive this van up to the store, to the dealer, because we're going to go and get some bits and bobs that we need for the breeding bull. Basically the containers that we need to store off the bull semen, basically. So that needs to be done. Goats are all fine, they are producing milk, they've got plenty of stuff to keep them busy. But what I'm going to quickly do is just run over to here. We're going to go and pick up these straw bales at the same time. I am trying to multitask at the moment. I've got a few things placed around so we can obviously crack on with this. Now I think I might be set up to go here, but we'll find out. There we go. So we have got a few places spare. The main reason I want to get this done is I'm actually going to sell field 1. Now I don't really need it. I have got quite a lot of fields as it is, and I just think, yeah, it makes quite a bit of sense to just go ahead and sell this. So that's the aim. I'm going to go and sell field 1. Probably take a shortcut here. But first, before we do that, we've obviously got to pick up the bales and go and sell them at the animal dealership, which is the best price when I last looked. But let's just have a quick look now, because it might not be. So yeah, I am going to keep field 5, field 2, field 3, and obviously the silver field, which is ready, but I'm not going to do that in this episode. I've also cultivated field 8, but we're going to plant some potatoes in there. Hopefully, I'm going to set that going in this episode with some leased equipment. But I do need to sort this field out first, because then when we sell it, we'll get some money that we need desperately right now. But I definitely just don't think we need this many fields. And if you look at the actual size, field 1, it's not the biggest. We've still got 3 fields that are pretty much good sized, so we shouldn't miss out. Now I have turned off the speed cameras, I have deactivated them, so we don't need to worry about that. And I have got a few vehicles in place as well on this road. Got one at the butcher's, which you'll be able to see in a second when we drive past. There you go. We'll get to that, and now I should have 2 vehicles, there you go, at the dealership. And that is definitely going to come in handy. I think that'll be a good size field for potatoes. Obviously I'm going to have to lease out the equipment, because I haven't got any of the equipment for potatoes, but we do need it for the pig food, and the pigs are consuming quite a bit of the food at the moment. Now we're going to sell the straw. Now you do sell the straw or any type of bale type that you're going to sell at the dealership in there, the animal dealership. You wouldn't go over that. I did try originally. Now, first time I played this, it was the same. You'd put it over here, but when I saw that, I just thought, I wonder if it's changed, but it hasn't. It's definitely still over here. There we go, 28,800, which is really good. They are some good sized bales though. They are 8,000, so definitely a good sized bale. But I'm happy with that. That's pretty good income, especially right now. Okay, so that's the remaining 9 bales off the field. So let's just quickly sell field 1, because we definitely should get some good money. There we go. 216,000. We no longer own that field, but we have got enough, and they're all pretty much primed now, ready to go. We just need to scan them and then get some equipment, especially for the potatoes. I think I'm set for everything else. I just need some seeds. I haven't decided yet as well what I want to grow. I'm thinking of doing a bit of corn, just because, I mean, look at it, it looks mint. But we have already done corn, and we've just done some corn straw as well. But yeah, I'll figure it out which crop types to do. I mean, I'm glad I've got the silver field, because we definitely want to have a look at that with it being a new crop type. But apart from that, there's nothing that's standing out unless I think we need anything. Now, I do want to try some vegetable oil and stuff like that, so I might do some sunflowers, so we can get some sunflower to convert into vegetable oil. I think that's probably the best thing to do, and I haven't really done much sunflowers in the game, so I should probably do that a little bit more. I think it's a good opportunity for that anyway. So what I'll do now is, after I've sold these, I do need this trailer, because we're going to take some hay up to the young bulls, because I do need to start giving them some TMR to be a bit more productive. So I'll take a full trailer load probably of hay bales, place one of them hay storage areas that you can put down, and then we'll do probably the TMRs in the next episode. I think that's probably the best bet. But I think now we're pretty good for money. So if I send this back on an auto drive back to the main farm, we can then crack on with getting some equipment from the dealership. So if I just put farm, I think farmhouse, there we go. Alright, so let's jump to this one, will be fine. And then what we need to do is we need to purchase some bits. So let's get everything that we need to do some potatoes, planting some potatoes, and then also let's get these containers to put in the back of the van. Right, so I've only gone with a small planter or potato sowing machine and some potatoes, and then I've gone with a hell of a lot of these because I'm going to stock up that fridge. I really am. It means that the bull's going to be super busy. So we want to obviously open up the back and just throw them in. It doesn't really matter. As long as they fit in. I mean, we probably might be able to strap them down anyway, but we'll see. Let's get these in. And I have gone for empty. You can buy them full, but obviously they are more expensive. And we're going to hopefully either sell quite a few of them, because we're not going to need many of them for us. From what I can understand, I don't know if this is 100% true, but I believe when you inseminate a cow and it's calving, it will always stay in calving, I think, because after they've calved, I've noticed that the actual red X doesn't disappear, and yeah, it still says that they're calving. Now, it might be after a few calves. I'm not saying that it is forever, but so far it's definitely not after one, so you don't have to inseminate each time maybe it's a few calves and then inseminate, or as soon as it's calving, it's always going to be a cow that's calving. But I'm not 100% certain on that. So that should be fine. I've strapped some of them. So what I need to do now is send this on auto drive to the Young Bull farm. So let's see what category that is. Let's just see if it's in farms. There we go, I found it. It's under Bull Yard. It should have stood out for me, but I was missing it. So we'll go to the first gate. Let's just see if that's it. Send him there. And that's that done. So now what I'll do is I'll set this up as well. Course plate. Now, at least we've got that in the ground. So we can actually start doing some pig food. Because we've got pretty much everything else bar the potatoes. Now I'm hoping he doesn't need to fill up again. But if he does, then we can always sort that out. So let's, first things first, we want to set it to field 8. Tick the course play button and then get up course play. Let's generate this field. Luckily it is only a small field, but I go around probably 4 times, massive overlap, because it is obviously only 2.3 meters. We want to give it enough space to turn. And I think first waypoint, and then we just need to set it going, and it should now work a treat. But like I said, if it needs filling up, we can always sort that out. Right, so I was going to try and do some fuel, but I'm not quite there yet. So we'll save that for another episode, and I'll explain exactly what it is I need to do. But we have to wait a certain amount of days before we start getting anything from these places we can pick up, either animal fat or used vegetable oil. So we'll have to wait probably till the next episode for that. So let's just quickly jump over to the guy that got to the breeding bull area, because I think if I did set it right, which I did, he is actually at the right location. So let's go over there. There we go. This is very strange. There we go. I kind of got stuck into the vehicle. So this is probably going to be a little bit of a pain, obviously picking up all these and storing them off, but it is needed. And then we'll also set the bull going again, doing his business. So if we just quickly open the door, we might be able to back these in. No, we'll have to just leave it like that. We'll have to throw them in, not a problem. Now I do want to pick some of these up anyway, so if I... There you go, I can... So that's now full, it's got 5 litres of obviously bull sperm, so we can put that in there, it's full, but we can also put and store the empty ones on the table, and we can just keep filling it up. I have got 10 litres of it left, so that's 2 more, so we will have 3 that are full. There we go. And this is actually, yeah, quite profitable. Now, I don't know how I'm going to get them. I might have to open the side door. There we go. Now, I think this might be in the way. There we go. Let's shove that out the way. Oops. I was a bit heavy-handed on that one. So what I'm going to try and do is I am actually going to try and fill these all up and then obviously sell them at some point. That is the plan. Because they are definitely good money. So let's just lob them all in there. Now the only problem is trying to grab them. it's quite an issue. Maybe it'd be better to pick up a trailer, maybe on the gator. The trailer that comes with that might be more easier to do anyway than this. I mean, I could open the other side, I guess. Looks like it opens as well. Let's just make sure of that. There we go. So that is, so it isn't too bad anyway. You could pretty much do it. You just need to probably open up all three sides. There we go. Now, I believe if you just stack them on here until they're obviously full, then you can put them in the fridge. They'll automatically just fill as long as you go to this container to the right with the dial on, and then obviously trigger to fill one up. Now, which one's filled up, who knows? And then they can just go into the fridge. And I think every time the ball's in here, it will produce 5 litres. So obviously, you know, you're going to keep the ball active to get quite a bit. But it is worth a fair whack. If we have a look quickly at the amount you can get from it, you can get 98,000 for 1,000 litres, which is a fortune. But obviously, it'll take quite a while to get 1,000 litres. I mean, it'll take you a while to get 100. So you're going to need to make sure that bull is very busy to get 1,000 litres. But if you did, then fair play to you. But I think we've definitely got enough if we do want to start maybe inseminating any more cows. Now, that will need to happen as soon as we have any calves that have grown up fully, and then we've converted them into the actual cow pen for my milkers. There we go. So I'll just pop this up here. And then what we need to do is we need to get on that one. I would like to get some more young bulls so we can speed up the actual process to get some meat packs, but we could actually do it now. We've got quite a bit more money, so we could invest in getting at least 10 more for each pen, so that'd be 20. I'd probably prefer to buy them because it can be quite costly using the laptop, so maybe it's something we can do in the next episode. But let's just sort this bull out. And there we go. So we'll leave him to it, and then we'll have another 5 litres. And then as soon as I've filled all them up, we'll go and sell them and see how much money we do actually get. But I think what I want to do now is I want to actually come up here with some hay bales, and we're going to go and store them off. Now I'm thinking, looks like that might be a straw placement. I think I put that in last time. So maybe I could put some hay bales just here. So let's get ourselves one of these bale storage points, and we'll get a square hay one. And we need to probably put them, actually that's spot on. Maybe a little bit there. I think that's fine. It doesn't collide with the top of the roof as well, so, or the bottom of the roof, sorry. And we can put some hay there. Now, I think that might actually be hay. I might have placed one of these before. I might have just completely forgotten. It looks like I might have, but we'll find out. I'll test it out. And at the end of the day, we've got a load of silage points and a load of straw, so it wouldn't be a problem to have 2 hay points. But I would like to get this thing rocking with some hay, straw, and obviously grass silage, so we can get the cows a little bit more productive on this side. So let me go down to the main farm where the actual trailer is. There we go. And let's pick up some much needed hay bales. Now I think we need the ones from up here. So I'm going to have to obviously auto load these on. And we'll have to keep backing up. There we go. So we're in operating mode. We just need to... In fact, it's probably a better idea for me to put it in transport until I've properly lined this up, because there is a straw bale there as well. We don't want to pick that up. But we can do this pretty quick, because there is a hell of a lot of bales up there. We've got the round hay bales, so we're not going to be in desperate need for them. So if I just put it there, it should automatically just keep pinging them in. Not the best place. Let's try that again. If you get too close, it thinks that you're trying to load it up, so you have to make sure you're a certain distance away, but you can still do it where it automatically goes in there, but obviously we're not doing that with these, so we're going to have to just manually throw them on. So I'll crack on with this, I'll fill it up, and then we'll get them down to the young bull farm. Right, so here we are with 32 hay bales. A massive amount, more than they're going to need anyway, so we should have plenty for a bit. Until we obviously up the scale, which I do intend on doing. I do want to kind of see how far we can get with this, basically. So if I do that, it should ping them in. Now, obviously, probably going to need a little bit of a nudge. Like that. But it works, so let's give these a nudge. Obviously, didn't see that bale. In fact, this bale was there for a reason. Ah, so it is. So I've got two, which is good to know. There you go. So that's pretty much all the ingredients we need to make some TMR for these breeding bulls, basically. These are young bulls, sorry, not breeding bulls, but the breeding bull as well will have some TMR, which hopefully will make him more productive as well. So, this one come from? Sneaky. Right, so that's that done. We will do some TMR, but I'll do it in the next episode, probably with the Sylphy, and then, yeah, we'll crack on with some other bits. But hopefully as well, the making our own biofuel. But what we need to do now that we've done that, is pretty much go and check on the animals, because there is a few things we need to do. There's some chicks, there's a calf, there's also the suckling pigs. So let's get back to the main farm and sort some of these out. Right, so I think the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go and sort out the suckling pigs. And then we'll move on to the chicks, and we'll leave the calf until last, because I'm looking forward to the calves. Because I think it is such an excellent idea to add into a game. Now, I don't even think this will be an FS22, I'll be honest. I think it's that cool that it's not even going to be in the next game, but you never know. I can always hope, and I really don't think it will. So what we need is this, pretty much this decking that you can get. It's already in the map. It's one of the things you need to install in the pack. And we're pretty much just going to put it by the back of this door. Probably about there, so we can actually still walk past. And the reason for that is because in here we've got some piglets. Some happy piglets roaming around. Now, if you look at these, they say 100%. That's because they're at 100 litres. The suckling pig, basically, this is our pig. You could call it the breeding pig, even though it isn't actually the breeding pigs that you get up at the big place. Let me just show you so it's not confusing. This place is where all the breeding pigs are. They're mainly just for meat packs and stuff like that. You don't get piglets there. This is the only place you're now going to get piglets, in here. This is like Mama Pig that sorts out getting some piglets. When they first pop in, they'll look like this, tiny. And as you can see, this is pretty much a brand new one. It's at 5 litres, and over time they'll grow up to 100 litres. When they get to 100 litres, they'll change in size. I think there's 4, maybe 4, something like that. Stages where you see them basically just get a little bit bigger, and then eventually they'll have the tags in their ears. You know that you're about 100%. When they're at 100, that's when you're going to go and take them, unfortunately, to the butcher so we can turn them into suckling pigs. So you don't really let them grow. You don't take them out, these baby little piglets, and have them in here. That's not how it works. These breed naturally, and you're just going to fatten them up and then go and take them for either the slaughterhouse, get paid straight off, or you're going to take them to the butcher for some meat packs. So yeah, it is a nice little feature. I mean, look at this. Got a heat lamp and everything. And that's how they grow. So you'll notice they spawn in straight by the heat lamp, so make sure you've got them on as well. So what you need to do when they're 100 is you pick them up. Unfortunately, you take them away from Mama Pig. And we're going to take them straight to the butcher. Now, we've got 2 that are at 100%, so we're going to drop it in here. And just carry on eating away whatever it is that he was eating before. And you could probably open that door as well. I'm sure you can open that door. Yeah, you can. That might be a little bit easier. Oh, sorry. Sorry, pig. So there we go. 2 pigs. Unfortunately, we're going to go and take them to the butcher now. So, not probably. Oh, wheelbarrow every time. So yeah, not the let's say the best thing if you're really into like baby animals, or if you're you know, against it. Oh my god, they just flew about as well. So you need to be careful when they're in there, because they do go flying around. This is what we're going to do. We're going to go and take these to the butcher. Now, chicks as well. Let's talk about chicks while we're here. Right, so now we're here. Let's talk about the chicks. So, as far as I know, all I can do with these is pretty much just take them to the animal dealership and sell them. But they do give you quite a good price. If we just look in here, you'll notice that you've got your piglets that you can take to the livestock dealer. Now, remember, that's 9,000, I think, for 1,000 litres. Now, a piglet, as you've seen, they're around 100. So you're going to get about 900 and something. 980, if that is exactly right. And the same with a calf. You're going to get about 1,000. Actually, I don't know what a calf weighs, so that might be a little bit better. But the reason you want to take a suckling pig, because even though they're probably not going to be 1,000 litres, it is a good price, and it will probably be a little bit more profitable than obviously just taking a piglet to the livestock dealership. So pretty much, I'd rather take my piglets to the butcher, let him turn it into a suckling pig, and then you can obviously take him to your farm shop or somewhere else. Another thing with the chicks, like I said, is you take them to the livestock dealership, and it's on the up right now. And you sell them there. You can't obviously, unfortunately, let them grow into basically chickens in here. Now, I did look at the notes. If you look at the update notes, Farmer Andy, the author of the map, did mention the fact that it just caused quite a bit of issues. He has tried, but this is pretty much as far as the process goes. So I believe that all I need to do is take this, bring up the F1 menu, and then we just press R, or whatever you need to press, to start filling. And that's 30 litres of chicks in there. So it looks like 2 of these boxes will hold your chicks. So if I put this in the back of that as well, let's open the gate. And we can have a look at them as well. You can see there's some chicks in there, which is pretty cool. We can then go and take these to the animal dealership. And we'll sell them straight, as well as taking the suckling pigs. Now, we can obviously keep doing this as well. Got quite a few eggs, we may as well. I need to probably sell some of them at some point. So we turn that, shut that, and then turn it on, and let them rock and roll again. So we'll just put these in the back as well. Now, luckily, we're not going to take these chicks to the butcher. They're obviously just going to go to the animal dealership, and then they're going to get reared and probably sold on when they're at full, obviously, adulthood, let's say. But right now, unfortunately, we can't do that in the game. So we'll take the corners quite carefully, because, as you can see, the piglets are rocking around. Now, if you do take a calf to the butcher, which you can do, or you take a calf pretty much to anywhere, So if you take it to the animal dealership or the slaughterhouse or the butcher, now you will need to basically get the leash and lead it, which I will show you in a second. So if you've got like an animal trailer, you could lead it up the ramp and then take it that way, like that. Whoa. Sorry, Piglet. So I think we can actually open the doors on this, which might have been easier, so I will do that when we get there. Right, so here we are. So let's just grab one of the pigs, and unfortunately, we're now going to take it and we're going to place it in here. And then what happens is, unfortunately, it obviously is now not alive, and it's now going to be turned into a suckling pig. So we need to wait for that to process. So if we just take the other one and do the same, the butcher's going to sort it out so we can obviously sell it as a suckling pig. And there we go. So let's leave him to do that, and we'll go and take the chicks to hopefully a more happier lifestyle. Right, so I think I just need to place it here. And there you go, the chicks have gone. I've had £232 and the chicks have gone with the rest of the chickens, which are over here. So the chicks are somewhere being reared. Probably won't see them there, but you know what I mean. They are definitely happy. And yes, it's a little bit more than eggs, so you know, it's a better way. You are getting more money than what you would if you were just selling eggs straight off. But it still is not the most money. I would like to rear them, I'll be honest, but that's how you do it if you want to do it. If you want to sell your chicks, if you want to do chicks in the game, that's how you do it. He's doing pretty well, progressing quite nicely. Seems like he hasn't got that much to go. So let's just have a look at it in the field. The one thing I did do though is I forgot to put the crop scanner on again. So I do need to get around to scanning these fields. I will scan these two. Probably all of these when I'm in the fields next. I will remember. But we've been using Courseplay, I've been forgetting. So we'll have to scan that. It won't take long though, it is a small field. But anyway, that's the suckling pigs, the first process of it, and that's their chicks. So we will come back to the butcher when he's finished processing. And probably take him at least, I don't know exactly know how long, but it'll take, I'll probably come back in a day and check, see how it's getting on. So let's go back and sort out the calves. Right, so here we are, and we've now got one calf. Funnily enough, like I said, I did buy 10 originally cows, so as you can see, 10, and we had to put all 10 into calf, and we've had one calf, but all 10 are still calving. So right, looks like the guy's just finished doing the potatoes, so let's just quickly sort that out so he's not sitting there looking over the calves. And as we do that, there we go. Let's send him back as well, we may as well. I will get rid of the actual leased equipment though, we don't need that. So let's get rid of that. Send him back to the farmyard. Job done. So yeah, I was saying I got 10 cows, put them into calf, and still all calving, even though I've had one technically calf. So what we need to do now, when you've got a calf, it'll just stay here, nothing will happen. But we obviously need to nurture it as it's growing. And to do that, we're going to have to put them into one of these pens. So we'll open one of them up, and then we'll go over to the calf. And if you just press the same button you would when getting into a vehicle, you then, as you've noticed, with the calf, it's got like a little rope lead around its neck, and you're walking it. Crazy. And what we need to do is obviously lead it over to just the pen door that we've just opened, and then obviously place it in there. So this is proper animal rearing now in my eyes. And there we go. It's like automatically taking it from me. And it's now in its pen. So what we need to do is make sure it's got some food and a bit of straw as well. So we can obviously get some straw bedding. Yeah, there you go. You see, so you can, as you've seen, just pick up some straw bales and place them in here. Now you could use straw blower as well at the same time, but that should do. Just picking up a bale will do for me right now. So there is no information here on calves. But what we need to do is just make sure it's got some food. So to do that, you need to give it some calf milk. So it's a mixture of calf milk powder, which you do buy from the store. I've bought 10 bags here, as you can see. And this is the milk powder for calves. It costs £50 a bag. Get it from there, and then this rack in here is a place to store it. So you just have to go up to it, tell it you want one of them, and then one will fly out. And then you also need to buy this, which is the mixer for the milk. To get this, you go to the objects panel, and then you go to production equipment. And it's here, the milk shuttle. That's what we need. All we have to mix together with this is obviously the calf milk powder and some water. And it is another one of the items that you do put on charge, as I have done here. So let's take it off charge. We've just taken it off that. So now we just need to detach it. And then what I'm going to do is open the cover. And probably best bringing up the F1 menu so you can see what I'm doing. And as you can see there, it wants more water. Well, it's like 2 parts water, 1 part milk powder. So I think the first thing we'll do is put some milk powder in. There you go. So it's taken hardly any, basically. It really has. It's a bit of a funny colour. And then what we need to do is get some water. So you just put the bucket that's already here underneath the tap. And pour the water in. Now, weirdly, we need to put some more milk powder in. There you go. So it did work in the end. You just need to get the right ratio. And as you can see, it's a bit of a weird colour. Looks a bit like bluey. Then when you get onto this, you then obviously shut the cover, turn it on, turn the milk shutter on, and then as you can see, it'll take 60 seconds and it'll mix it up. So if I just open the cover, you might be able to see it a little bit better. As you can see, it's now mixing the milk powder, calf milk powder, and the water. And then after 43 seconds from now, what should happen is it should go a more realistic colour looking, let's say. What we can do at the same time as well is milk some cows. Now, I have got, like I said, 10 cows, and it looks like I've got 3,500 litres of milk. So it's not like I can hook up to this tank here and get that milk. As you can see, it says nothing. There's nothing in there. So what you have to do is you have to actually turn on the milk robot, and then what you want to do, activate hose filling, which is what I will use on the tank, and then but we need to turn the milking robot on. And then what you'll notice is one of the cows pops in, the robot does its thing, and it should start milking, and then that'll go up. So we'll just leave that to do its thing. And now this is done. As you can see, it now looks like proper milk. So let's jump back in and shut the cover. And then what we need to do is obviously fill this bucket up with milk. Now, the trigger's obviously already come. Now, you do need to change it from like where you want to tip side from. So I've got it to pipe unload. You can do it from the front. The reason you can do it from the front is if you want to just basically pour it down the drain or anything like that. And you can even fill up into these containers to make it a little bit easier on yourself. It's got water in right now, but you could fill that with calf milk or something else for that matter if you did want to. But we're going to tip like that. And that's that. That's pretty much done. So that one calf now has got everything it pretty much needs to grow. Now, We will need to wait some time, but now he should grow. He's pretty much got everything he requires. So we'll come back to him obviously in the future just to see how he's progressing. We've got another calf. Perfect timing. So let's put this one in as well. Got the milk, pretty much got all the straw bedding already in. Looks like these calves are flying out now. I like this. I actually think this is pretty interesting. Something brand new to FS19, and I'm hoping that something more interactive with animals comes to FS22. So you should just be able to walk in, and then you see that you pop out, you like fly out. So, and we'll just get the milk thing again. You don't need to charge it up all the time. I mean, if you're sitting at like 90% battery, it's not an issue. You've got calves now in game with milk, proper calf milk mixing. And yeah, and you're proper rearing. So I did need to jump in then and press activate the milking process. So what you'll notice now is if I go to the cows, the milk is actually going down. And the reason for that is we're actually drawing it out of the animal, out of the cow, and it's now going into this container. So we can then, from this, hose this, and using the hose connection or a trigger, we can then store it into our milk house, which is up here. So I think it's one of these ports. And you can see as well, it'll tell you the actual volume you've got. Now, the reason you do it like that is because this is obviously simulating some kind of... Can I pick that up? It's like an IBC. That's cool. Yeah, this is obviously simulating somewhere where it's refrigerated and kept cool, and you can tell how much milk is here as well. So we probably should do that at some point. You can store all your cow milk in here. I do think as well you can store it technically in either one of these as well for when you do cheese. So one could be like goat's milk, the other one could just be milk, and then you've got it there as well for when you do your cheese options. But we'll definitely do that at some point. But let's just see how the milking process is getting on. So as you can see, it's pretty much done. So there is no more milk. So what we can do is activate the hose filling and turn it off, and the cow will eventually disappear and get back in. So let's just have a quick look to see if any of the cows have changed, because I'm sure they stay in calving, which they have done. So that is interesting. So what I'm thinking of doing now quickly is getting the gator and moving some of the milk over, because unfortunately I haven't got my other little tanker, because that's up by the inn waiting to get some of the animal fat and the old vegetable oil so we can do fuel. So I think what I need to do is just pull this up probably at a reasonable distance. That might be a bit close. Now I'm going to spawn in a hose just because I want to quickly just show you this. So let's go to crop protection, and we'll grab one of these. We'll put it white-ish for milk. Yep. And then what we want to do is connect it to this. There we go. And this end, try and line it up a little bit better and connect it to this. There we go. So we need to make sure we open this valve. I don't think I have to open anything on this side. I just need to make sure I hit the pump, and as you can see, the milk's now flowing out of that one. If you just look at this dial here, you can see that that one is going up. Pretty cool. Proper transferring your milk over. And then what I'll quickly do is I'll go and show you taking it out and storing it into the milk area. Well, milk house is called exactly on the map. I think it is called milk house. Let's just confirm that. Yeah, so milk house storage tank. So we can always just take it into there, and I'll show you quickly what it looks like as well when you've got it in storage. And then you've got it if you want to sell it, or if you do want to do some cheese or anything. So I'll just drop that there out of the way while we quickly go and do this. In fact, I will need one of these, but what I'll do, because I want one there as well, I'll just spawn in another one. Right, so there we go. So now all I need to do is switch the pump over to emptying, and then we turn it on. Now this dial here should be indicating that it's obviously going into this storage house, and there you can also see it here, and you can also see it here, so it's pretty much everywhere. And I think that's got something to do with mayonnaise. You want to make mayonnaise from vegetable oil and eggs. But there we go. This is pretty much how you're going to obviously turn the extraction on. Yeah, this is pretty much how you're going to store off your milk. If you want to store it in bulk, you can obviously use a bigger tank than this. It doesn't have to be this one. There we go. But we'll leave that in there until we want to use it or sell it. So let's just have a quick last look at these two calves just to make sure everything's fine. And I think that's it for the episode. So yeah, two calves that are progressing nicely. Eventually over time, I'll put these back in with the herd, and then you'll probably inseminate them as well eventually. And then you'll obviously keep growing and growing and hopefully have a good milking herd. That is the plan anyway, but like I said, this is pretty surreal that you can now do this in FS19. And this is what Hof Bergmann, the map, brings. It looks like as well, I've got another calf, so I will be busy. But on that note, I am going to leave the video there. It's definitely been another productive one. We've done some calves, we've done some chicks, we've done some suckling pigs. We've obviously planted out the potatoes, which is good. I've done a few things as well in between the episodes. I've sorted out the hay for the TMR for the young bulls so we can get them more productive. The breeding cow's been busy as well. We've got some containers to keep up with his workload, let's say. And also we sorted out the bales, the straw bales. So we've definitely been productive. But there is still quite a bit to do. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. I appreciate that every time. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos on Farming Simulator. See ya.